Okay. I mean, most of that you already heard before anyway. So we're talking today about nonfiction, and we're going to look at some different types of nonfiction and then adding another layer to fact versus opinion. Okay. So we have talked a little bit about fiction, and fiction means fake, it's made up. Nonfiction means it's not fake. Okay, so it is factual writing about real life situations. What qualifies? Essays, biographies or autobiographies, journals. Essay comes in a lot of different formats though. So essays can be articles to inform. Essays are just any type of formal writing that contains factual information. Your textbook is basically a giant essay. So again, why do we have essays? They are written to persuade, describe, explain, entertain, and narrate. And this thing doesn't want me to move apparently. Okay, let's go back. So that's why we write them. And we practice the different types of writing in high school and in English because there are different times when you want to persuade someone or you just need to describe and explain what you're doing. Other types of nonfiction, aside from essays, are biographies and autobiographies. These are my favorite parts. A biography is the story of somebody told by another person. So if I was to write a book about Martin Luther King Jr., it would be a biography. Now, if I wrote a book about myself, that would be an autobiography, and that is where the writer tells the story of their own life. Both biographies and autobiographies are popular ways to learn about historical figures. One of my favorite ways to read an autobiography is to listen to the audiobook because more often than not, the writer is the one who's reading it to you. So I've read books from Lauren Graham and Anna Kendrick, and lots of other people. Those are just two that I recently have read. But they read them to you, and you can get it for freezies on your phone with the Libby app. So, other nonfiction journals. This is more like a personal diary journal. And this is the new element that we're adding to nonfiction. So these are daily autobiographical accounts and events and a person's reactions and feelings and opinions. So, the Diary of Anne Frank is a really popular diary that many students will read in school, and it's a diary of a preteen and then teenage girl as she is living and hiding with her family and other people during World War II when the Nazis invade her country, and she is in Amsterdam. And I've seen the house. It's cool. So the thing with journals is it is a true statement for that person, and the line sometimes gets a little bit blurred between fact and fiction. So let's review fact and fiction. So is it a fact, nonfiction, or is it fiction, meaning kind of an opinion? So think to ourselves, is this a fact or an opinion? 2 + 2 = 4. Why did it do that? That one's a fact. Okay. What's the difference? Remember that a fact is something that you can prove to be either true or false. You can't change a fact. An opinion is something about how a person feels or views about something, and you can change an opinion. The way that it's going to become a little more complicated in the real world is that in an autobiography or in a journal or in a piece of writing, someone could write down the opinions of others. And so then that person's opinions become factual. So it's a little bit of inception. Okay, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the best candy. This guy would be an opinion. You might think so, but not everybody does. Advertisements use propaganda to convince us to buy things. That's a fact. You get to decide whether or not you choose to buy it based on your income and filtering that through your brain. And here's where it gets just a little bit grayer. So today we logged into school. This is a fact, but it's only true for those people who did it. So if I said everyone logged into school today, that would not be a true statement. But if I said today we logged into school, it is true for those students who did it. And so this is where fact versus fiction tends to get a little bit grayer. Here's another one. I'm having a great day at school today. This is a fact because nobody can speak for you. So this is something that you may have think about. Maybe you wrote it in a text or a journal or an or your own autobiography, your diary. And if you say it's true, then it's true for you. However, I can't say Jesse's having a great day today. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I hope it is. But so these two at the end, this is where we're adding this other layer of complexity because we've talked about facts and opinions before, but now we need to think about, is it a fact for that person or is it an opinion for that person? Okay. Again, what's the difference? Facts are based on observable evidence. It's indisputably true to a person's experience, meaning you can't argue about it. Opinions are based on feelings and emotion. It doesn't necessarily have evidence to support it. So this is called the caveat, the grain of sand that I want you to take is to be aware that life is complex and things don't always fit really neatly into these fact and fiction or fact and opinions. Because some nonfiction does include opinions. And that is why it's so interesting to read an autobiography and a biography, because people might share their experience and then they can change their mind later on, and they're documenting their journey. So you might have to hear that a little bit to get it to click, but we can think about what evidence is there to support or to go against your feelings. So where are your opinions coming from? This ties a little bit in with what we talked about biases, that it's just the way you look at the world based on your experience and your opinions and your beliefs. Doesn't make you a good or bad person. Your actions. That's what often gets judged by other people. So, fact and opinion. We're adding a little bit of gray area today, but I think you're going to do well. The students in previous classes have done well on this. So go ahead and take the 5-6 quiz. And if you need to retake it, retake it. If you need to work on something else afterwards, work on something else. Make sure that you finished your 5-5 in Google Classroom. Okay. And I hope you have a good day.